Alright guys, so it's another kind of game breakdown for the EA Sports PGA Tour game coming out March 24th of 2023, so only a few months away. It got delayed a while back, and from the trailer, it looks to be a good decision to have delayed it. But we'll find out. This is only my second video like this, so still trying to properly do them. So we'll watch it in full, the trailer, with no talking and no discussions, just watching it. And then afterwards, we'll discuss what's in the trailer, and they have released some facts, FAQ, whatever, on their site. So we'll go to that as well and read some of that and kind of discuss what this has going for it versus 2K and HB Studios game, what has it, maybe setting it back versus that game, and stuff like that. So let's watch it.
The goal for gameplay in EA Sports PGA Tour is to provide all the tools you need to realistically attack every hole on every course the same way the pros do. To achieve this, we're introducing Pure Strike, accompanied by a set of 20 shot types. Powered by official ShotLink and TrackMan data, Pure Strike incorporates the three parts of every golf shot: fluid swing mechanics, innovative ball behavior, and lifelike course dynamics. Every golf shot starts with a swing, and no two golf swings are alike. So, we captured stances for every pro golfer in the game. Then, we mapped their attributes to a variety of stats from ShotLink and TrackMan data. This means you won't see Scotty Scheffler's drives flying off the tee at the same trajectory as Jordan Spieth's, for example. Once you address the ball, you'll see a swing meter that will serve as a gauge for your backswing, using the left or right analog stick depending on your preference. We designed it so you can focus on the animation itself in order to execute the swing. The length of your backswing and the speed of your follow-through both factor into the power and accuracy of your shot, and you'll receive on-screen feedback after every swing. The swing mechanic is highly accurate to your controller input with scalable forgiveness, so you can focus more on the actual strategy of each shot. There are 20 total shot types at your disposal in EA Sports PGA Tour. Each shot type produces different ball behavior, each is used in different situations, and each utilizes different club types. With plenty of ways to modify shot types, there are over 1,300 shot variations in the game. Some of the more basic shot types like punch, pitch, and blast you'll use frequently throughout your rounds. Others like stinger, high flop, hack, and Texas wedge, to name a few, can be used in more strategic ways. So it's important to choose the right tool for the job. New ball behavior has been redesigned from the ground up. New technology allows every bounce and roll to behave more accurately across a greater variety of terrain and course conditions. As the ball travels, you'll receive on-screen feedback about various aspects of the ball's flight milestones. Once your shot lands, new ball behavior enables more realistic interactions between the ball and the ground, like you'd see on a real golf course. You'll see the golf ball bounce, dribble, and roll as it travels across different terrains and cuts of grass. Naturally, a fairway will cause more dribbling than a green surface, and as part of the new course dynamics, you'll notice that a course like Augusta National has smoother fairways than other courses. When you're putting, the goal is to backswing to the perfect point, which dynamically updates as you adjust your aim on the green. Under and overswings are possible when you're putting, and tempo matters too. Line up your putt, adjust for elevation, and sink it. To help new golfers with putting, we've added an assistant aim option that you can toggle on or off. Finally, we're bringing back some gameplay mechanics from previous titles like Power Boost, Spin Control, Big Hit, and Heartbeat moments, so you can hit a perfectly timed drive, button mash to adjust spin, and feel the suspense of a great shot inching towards the cup in slow motion. We set out to build the premier golf gameplay experience, and with the introduction of Pure Strike and other great gameplay features, we're just getting started.
Okay, so that was the PGA Tour, or EA Sports PGA Tour Road to the Masters game, and just a real quick thing. I didn't do one of these for 2K's game because the trailer for that one, and really one of the only trailers for it, any of the big trailers anyway, all it did was showcase celebrities and a couple of the golfers in real life. This one is showcasing the actual gameplay, what they've added and new stuff, the proper way to do a trailer, in my opinion. So if we look at it, I'll keep the sound on just so we can look at stuff. But real quick, let's look at one thing that they seem to actually get right besides 2K, and that's the trophies. If you win any trophy in 2K, they look awful. They look like plastic crap trophies, or a trophy that you would win when you're 8 years old at a junior thing, you know? I know because I have a bunch of them, and they look like those, except for mine actually have writing on them. The ones in 2K look awful. These look really good. Right there. Let's see.
Goal for gameplay in
Let's
EA
go and
Sports PGA Tour.
Right there, you got the Open. That one looked amazing.
All the tools you
Right
need
there,
to
the
realistically
players.
attack every hole on every course.
So the announcers, or the commentators, if you will, Iona Steven, I don't know who she is. Maybe she's LPGA or DP World Tour. I'm not sure. But they're gonna have Nick Faldo, Frank Nobilo, and Notabilia the Third as well. All three of those are fantastic options. Even though I love Gary McCord and David Faraday, the three that they have are fantastic. Not sure about her, but we'll see when the game comes out.
Same way the pros do. To achieve this, we're introducing Pure Strike, accompanied by a set of 20 shot types.
So 20 shot types. I think that is fantastic. Because there are a ton of shot types you can do in real golf. And that's why I was kind of irritated when they took out a splash shot that you could do in 2K. Because I will hit a splash out of the rough if I'm greenside a lot. If you just need to land it short and have it roll a little bit. For me, that's easier than chipping it a lot of the times, especially if the rough is thick. Yeah, you're not going to hit a splash normally out of the fairway. You'll just go for a straight up flop. But I think, you can have all these different shot types in the game and, have it be really good. And remember, it took them 4 or 5 games to add a punch shot. And as you can see here, this shot type is a stinger. It has a little B on it, which I think is actually pretty cool. So already this has a big advantage over that with 20 different shot types. Now, I'm sure a lot of them really won't be used, or not a lot, I should say. Probably a third of them won't really be used except for very rare occasions, but in that occasion you have that shot, so that's a good thing.
Powered by official ShotLink and TrackMan data, Pure
That's pretty
Strike
cool. Now, obviously, too, so let's go EA versus 2K. They both have a ton of money. Now, this game is developed, produced, distributed, everything by EA. So they have the money to put into it. Now, HB Studios is not 2K. 2K is, HB is developing it and all that. They're getting the money from 2K, so they probably honestly didn't have a fraction of the budget as EA. And that's, you can tell by not only graphics, but how much they actually put into the game, how fast they have fixes for updates and stuff like that. So that is going to be a huge advantage for the EA game versus the HB Studios game. And Trackman and the Pure Strike system seems really cool. We haven't seen that kind of thing in a golf game before. Maybe in a, one of those simulation things that aren't an actual, it's not a pure video game like this.
It's the three parts of every golf shot: fluid swing mechanics, innovative ball behavior.
So real quick, we can look at this. So it'll show you, I'm guessing this is if you had like overswing or underswing with the power. So plus 0.5% swing was straight, so that wasn't the problem. The apex was 27 foot, so that was the highest point of the ball, and it carried 28 yards. So that's really cool that they have apex, especially right there. The apex of the ball, that's really cool to me. It tells you the flop, your wedge, the wind, the ball spin. And then it has this right here, which I think that's pretty cool. So they obviously, maybe the reason it's so short, you can tell it's real short, they didn't get to the point they wanted to. But this part was perfect right here, so.
And lifelike course dynamics.
I don't know who's putting out of the rough, but.
Every golf shot starts with a swing, and no two golf swings are alike. So we can't.
Now this is something that you could tell 2K did this, or HB Studios did this, but they may have only done it for like the driver, because everybody's driver swing is different in PGA 2K23, but most of everything is the same. Now this is showing, Nelly Corda here has a wood or a driver, putter here, putter there. Actually, everybody's got a putter except for her. But they have even their putting stroke, which is really good.
For every pro golfer in the game.
Got Tony Finau, so
we mapped their attributes to a variety.
So it looks like a lot of golfers were not exclusive to a game, which I think is really good. Now it is a big, it's a shame that the majors and stuff like that can be exclusive, and EA has the exclusivity to the majors and Augusta and stuff like that. That's awful, I think. But at least the golfers aren't exclusive, it seems like, because Tony Finau is in this one. He's in 2K. Xander Schauffele's in this one and 2K, and we'll find out if anybody else is later. But this is really cool. It's showing a little bit of how they're using stuff, and how they're capturing everybody's movements and all that.
Variety of stats from ShotLink and TrackMan data. This means you won't see Scotty Scheffler's drives flying off the tee at the same trajectory as Jordan Spieth's, for example.
And I think that's really good. Now, if we look at this a little bit as well, so you have in your kind of what is it? Not your whole flyby, but when you're zooming in, you have a lot of, it's 137 to the front of here, 157 to the front of there. Instead of pulling up a yardage book, it's right here. Now, obviously, if you want Super Sim mode, you just pull up the yardage book, and it would have all of this. And look at this. He's hitting a knockdown shot. It's got a little boxing glove there. That's pretty cool. It's showing he might be aiming for a little bit of a draw, just a slight draw, based on where he's going to... Well, no, he might go in for a cut based on where he's going to hit that ball. Because it looks like he's going to go a little bit out and in with his swing. And so he's going to hit the right side of the ball and have it fade in a little from the left to right. Look at this. It says... I wish this would go away. But it says fairway 100%. 2.4 degrees above. So I'm guessing the ball is 2.4 degrees above your feet, your stance. That's really cool as well.
Once you address the ball, you'll see a swing meter that will
And you
serve
can
as a
see
gauge.
here, you do not start out hovering over the ball. You start out standing up over here looking at where you want to aim it. And then when you're ready to swing, he'll step up to the ball and everything. A small touch, but I think a really nice touch.
For your backswing using the left or right analog stick depending on your preference. We designed it so you can focus on the animation itself in order to execute the swing. The length of your backswing and the speed of your follow through both factor into the power and accuracy of your shot, and you'll receive on-screen feedback after every swing.
Apex 90
the
foot.
swing mechanic is highly accurate.
So if we look at the gameplay now, the thing I do like about 2K, which I don't know if EA is going to have the same thing, you can strictly put like your gameplay style or your swing difficulty on one thing, and you don't have to mess with any of this stuff. It'll automatically switch it to what those are going to be, and I have a feeling that's going to be a big deal for people like me on 2K side versus this one. I like that I don't need to adjust 50 different, gameplay options to suit my gameplay. I want to click one thing and have it change to what that gameplay style is, Just like they have the TGC Tours, that's one gameplay style, so that's what I play on for everything. I like that.
To your controller input with
And they
scalable
have simulation. So if we look at simulation, spin control is off, power boost is off, so that's good. You can still have the swing meter on, which I do not like the swing meter in 2K, so I'll probably not like it here. I like that off. I don't know what these are. I can't see those.
forgiveness, so you can focus more on the actual strategy of each shot. There are 20 total shot
20
types.
shot types, and if we knock down, I think I saw in that video, this is hack, like hacking it out the rough. That's a stinger. A punch. That's a punch, obviously. I don't know. Fastball? I don't know. Don't know what some of the others, based on the picture, would be. There's the stinger. A bomb, I guess, right there. Texas wedge. So when they say Texas wedge, they're showing people putting it from like the rough. And I've never really seen a full-on putt from the rough from anybody on the tour. I'm sure they've done it, but I've just never seen it.
At your disposal in EA Sports PGA Tour. Each shot type produces different ball behavior, each is used in different situations, and each utilizes different club types. With plenty of ways to modify shot types, there are over 1,300 shot variations in the game.
So she says over 1,300 shot variations in the game. I look at that as I look at, when Bethesda or Todd Howard from Bethesda says there's 300 different endings to whatever game they made. It's that the details in those variations on probably most of them are so minor that you will not notice, that they don't really take into effect. So I don't look into the 1,300 shot variations as a realistic thing that you're really going to notice. And one more thing I want to take note, I do actually find 2K's swing, the look of the swing, so far, based on this, a lot better. These swings look very slow for some reason. For some reason, the swing is very slow. Now, some people do have a slower swing. If you look at Sun JM, his backswing is actually very slow. But his follow-through isn't. Whereas all of these people, everything is basically one speed, and it's a little weird. But look, this seems to be about the same as 2K, so that's a good thing. You don't need everything to be completely different.
Some of the more basic shot types, like punch, pitch, and blast you'll use frequently throughout your rounds. Others, like
Like that
Stinger,
looked okay,
High
but
Flop,
then
Hack, and Texas Wedge, to name a few, can be used in more
some others
strategic
just look
ways.
very, very
So,
slow.
it's
Like
important
that.
to choose the right
That was
tool for the
way
job.
too slow. And that right
New
there,
ball
that ball
behavior
wouldn't have
has
went
been redesigned
110
from
yards.
ground up. New technology allows every bounce and roll to behave more accurately across a greater variety of terrain and course conditions.
So that's pretty cool. I like what
As
they're
the ball
showing
travels,
what the
you'll
ball will
receive
do in
on-screen
this.
feedback about
If you do
various
certain things,
aspects
like
of
this
the
person
ball's
just goes
flight
straight for a
milestones.
tree.
Once
And
your
that's
shot
pretty cool.
lands, new ball behavior
This is
enables
a
more
links course, so the ball is obviously going to roll a lot more. Especially off of the drive, so...
realistic interactions between the ball and the ground, like you'd see on a real golf course. You'll see the golf ball bounce, dribble, and
They
roll
hit towards
as it
just a
travels
rock
across different terrains
and have...
cuts of grass.
Now, I will say
Naturally,
that's going to be something that is a step above 2K's game because... Or HB Studios game, whichever one you want to think about it. A lot of their ball movements is very weird. Not to say hitting off a tree is, but a lot of the times, and this could be because of the course designer, but when you hit into certain areas, like sometimes you'll hit into a massive, like just a rock area, and it won't really do much. It'll hit kind of just like it's hitting onto the ground, on the grass. And I was playing in a tournament that had that, and I hit into this rock area that really should have bounced either out or just bounced all over the place and gone somewhere. But it just hit once, twice, and then stopped. And it was, even though it was rock, it counted as heavy rough. And so I feel like EA is going to have a huge advantage over that because I think it's because of the course designer. They have a lot of limitations on the stuff they can have in there, stuff that should be rock. I hit a house on 2K the other day just fooling around, and it literally just hit the roof and went straight down. And it was super unrealistic. So...
fairway will cause more dribbling than a green surface,
Mhm.
and as part of the new course dynamics, you'll notice that a course like Augusta National has smoother fairways than other courses. When you're
Now, what I've also heard is there's going to be two different grass types. They're going to make the ball roll differently. Now, 2K does not have this. But if you'll notice, and one huge thing that they have not fixed in between multiple games is their greens. They will have greens run a mile, but they're slow. And then they'll have breaks that don't show up at all. They'll have putts that you tap, roll 30 feet, even though it's not that downhill. It's, a few inches or something like that downhill. They've had, in their career mode, they have pin locations in the FedEx Cup playoffs where unless you can chip it in, you won't be able to stop it. And EA has said that they're going to have different grasses. So obviously, if you're hitting into, or if you're putting into grass that's growing towards you, you're gonna need to hit it harder. Or it's not gonna break as much versus grass that's growing, the opposite way. It's gonna roll faster. It's gonna break more. And going back to 2K, how their putting is, you'll have putts that don't make any sense that they are breaking as much as they are, when on the next hole it's breaking less on the greens, the beads, but then it ends up breaking more than the last putt, which had beads going faster. And so they have a lot of stuff like that. It just doesn't make sense. So if EA can kind of not do that, I think that's going to be a huge win for a lot of people, because a lot of people are complaining about that. And they're like refusing to fix it.
Putting, the goal is to backswing to the perfect point, which dynamically updates as you adjust your aim on the green. Under and overswings are possible when you're putting, and tempo matters too. Line up your putting, and swings are possible. Under adjust.
So if we look at this, and let's let that little line go away. Again, he is, standing to the side of it, kind of looking at, okay, where do I want to aim this? Again, a nice small detail. The crowds actually look really good. Again, a huge disappointment with 2K is they all still look like mannequins. But if we look down here, this has a little line going up to show that it's uphill. Now this has it up 5 inches as well, but this also has another small detail that I think is really good. And this is showing that it's 2.7 degrees below your feet, so it's obviously going to break to the right. Probably not, a significant amount, maybe a couple of feet, but it's showing you right there that it's going to break. So maybe if you have green grids off, this is showing you that it's uphill, and this would too. But this is showing you that there is break to the right, which if you play True Sim in 2K, my biggest thing on True Sim, and the reason why I stopped playing it, is you can look at a putt, and it looks dead straight, and it breaks like 4 feet. And it's like, there's no way I could have seen that. So putting above 8 feet is impossible, unless you get lucky. So this could be a huge thing for EA, for people who want to do True Sim, if, that stays on there for True Sim.
On the green. Under and overswings are possible when you're putting, and tempo matters too. Line up your putt,
and that's pretty much the same.
To help
it's just slightly, it's on the right side of the putter instead of behind you. But again,
finally,
probably wouldn't use that.
Some gameplay mechanics from previous titles like power boost, spin control, big hit, and heartbeat moments. So
again, they have the spin control, they have the power boost, they have the heartbeat moments from the previous Tiger Woods games. Now, I've gotten so used to not using those that I actually won't be using them on. I may play with them just to see how they are, but for the most part, I won't be using them at all. But I think it's a really cool thing that they've added it, so you can have a more arcade style if you want that.
You can hit a perfectly timed drive, button mash to adjust spin, and feel the suspense of a great shot inching towards the cup in slow motion.
Lexi Thompson, so she's another one that's in both games.
And with the introduction of Pure Strike and other great gameplay features, we're just getting started.
Okay, so that was that. Now let's look at their own site. And if we go to FAQ, so you can pre-order a deluxe edition and get it 3 days early. EA does that with a lot of their games. 2K did that with theirs. The courses, I think 28 of the fans will have the opportunity to play at 30 courses, including 20 of the world's most prestigious tracks and 2 fantasy. So they're going to have Augusta National, St. Andrews, which 2K does not have, Pebble Beach, which 2K is adding soon, the Country Club, Southern Hills, TPC Sawgrass, East Lake, Wilmington Country Club, TPC Boston, Southwind Scottsdale, Whistling Straits, PGA West, Quail Hollow, Torrey Pines, Kiowa Island Ocean Course, Chambers Bay, Banff Spring, Wolf Creek, that's a really cool one, Bay Hill, Liberty National, Harbor Town, bringing back Harbor Town, Riviera Country Club, Terra Iti, Top of the Rock, which 2K has as well, Brandon Dunes, Evian Resorts, Teeth of the Dog, I don't know what that one is at all, Wetlands, and Lighthouse Point, which are both fantasy courses. They'll have the majors. EA Sports PGA Tour Golf will include LPGA events, including the Evian Championship, where golf fans can play as and against LPGA athletes. So this makes me think they don't have a full PGA Tour or LPGA Tour thing. Like, they don't have it separated from the PGA Tour. I think I feel like that the events are included in the PGA Tour stuff, which is a little bit of a disappointment. I thought they were going to have a full LPGA thing, which would have been really cool. Include the FedEx Cup playoffs, of course they will. What pro golfers will be available? Scotty Scheffler, Cameron Champ. Okay, so Cameron Champ's in there. Xander Schauffele, M. Sung Jae. Not sure about who he is. I know they have Sungjae M. They have his name backwards. That's weird. Nelly Korda, Lexi Thompson, Jordan Spieth, Tony Finau, Hideki Matsuyama. Awesome. And they'll have more. Have a career mode, yes. What platforms? All of them. It's only next gen too, I think, which will help immensely. They don't need to spend the time working on 4 other consoles, which is good. Additional content will be available. At launch, the game's exciting Road to the Masters content will deliver players the prestige of competing in the Masters tournament, plus additional experiences. Sorry, I can't talk. Include coaching challenges designed in collaboration with the PGA education and player development departments that teach skills valuable not only in game but also in the real world. Participate in multiple amateur events, including the U.S. Amateur. Alright, let's see if they have anything else. They have shot type deep dive, 20 game changing shot types. Let's see, is this going to... No, this is just the trailer again. Okay, so you have drive, power drive, stinger. So again, I feel like this was one where you won't be using if you're doing the more arcade where you have the power drives. Or it could just be you're getting an extra 5% out of your drive. Approach, power approach. A more powerful full swing when the golfer wants to get more distance from terrain. It comes with a slightly larger shot dispersion than the approach as a result of the extra effort put into the swing. I'll have to learn about that. A punch, a knockdown. I use a knockdown a lot in real life. Which, by the way, you can't do a lot of these shots in 2K without really making it difficult to just hit a normal shot. Or hit a good shot anyway. Like, it should not be really difficult to hit a knockdown. But in 2K, if you want to do that, it's pretty, you have to put a lot of spin, you have to de-loft it, and in doing so, it makes the shot a lot harder to hit. When in real life, a knockdown, for me at least, is a much more approachable shot to hit than, let's say just a straight on pitch or a full shot, Finesse. A shorter, more versatile shot that can go a wider variety of distances than the approach, mainly used when you are at a distance that is between. That's awesome. Now, this is something I also would use in real life. So if I'm, 135 or 130 yards, that's too far for my sand wedge and not far enough for my gap wedge. So I'll choke down on my gap wedge and maybe hit it, 3/4 or something like that. Hack, a powerful full swing shot that is only used from the first cut, second cut, or heavy rough. It has less power penalty from these thicker grasses than the other shot types and is a valuable asset on courses with very thick and penalizing longer cuts. That's really good because one thing I absolutely hate in 2K is when you have 160 yards, you're in the heavy rough, but the only way to get it anywhere near the green is to hit my 3 hybrid max loft, max spin to make it go anywhere, because everything else won't even go 140. And that's super unrealistic. Now, yes, on these PGA Tour courses, there are some instances where they literally can't advance it more than 140 yards. But it's honestly pretty rare that those happen. Whereas in 2K, it's every course that has thick rough. Pitch, runner, spinner, flop. So pitch is everything a runner, a lower flying half swing shot that can also be used anywhere around the greens except for bunkers. Pretty cool. A spinner, which is, they have a fidget spinner as the the logo. You know what a spinner is going to be: a flop shot, a long flop, a high flop. That's very cool that they have this. Again, I would actually use this type of shot in real life, a longer flop shot where it doesn't go as high, but you're opening up the club face, and from the fairway, hitting what would be a flop shot. It just doesn't go as high, but it does go longer. A high flop, a blast from the bunker, a pick from the bunker, which is amazing. In 2K, they don't have bunkers quite right, because unless you max spin the ball, they don't spin. Whereas from the bunker, unless you do a blast, you have naturally you have a lot of spin out of the bunkers. Whether you pick it, and not really blast, but a normal bunker shot has a lot of spin. In 2K's game, you have to manually put a ton of spin on it to have spin on that ball. Otherwise, you can land it on an upslope in 2K's game, and that ball will run 30 feet sometimes. And it's just like, how? I hit it perfect and everything, it ran 30 feet. It doesn't make any sense. Putting shot types: a putt, a chip, a short putting stroke style shot with wedges and short irons that bumps the ball up into the air for a few yards and gets it rolling very quickly. It is mainly used when right next to the green to bump the ball over a bit of long cut terrain and onto the shorter cuts that will let it roll. Pretty cool. Texas wedge: a stroke with the putter that instantly gets the ball rolling, but can be used when not on the green or fringe. Judging the distance with it can be tricky, but this shot is extremely effective once it is mastered. And that's true, it is very tricky to, in real life, judge how hard to hit it from the fringe, from the fairway, from any longer grass, because you don't know quite how it's going to roll off of that and onto the green. So, shot type tiers: whether you're using an approach or putting shot type, your shot types all have a tier level: bronze, silver, or gold, which represents how well your golfer can pull off that shot. Okay, so you're kind of leveling up, per se. Gold shot types always perform at the skill level of your golfer, while bronze and silver shot types perform below the skill level of your golfer. For example, if your golfer's short game accuracy is a 7, a gold short game shot type will get the full impact of that 7, but a bronze or silver short game shot type accuracy will be less. So that's interesting. So kind of like, I am, in real life, I'm really, really good at, so let me think of an example. If your golfer's short game accuracy is gold, full impact, but a bronze. Okay, so my short game, my pitches from 50 to 70 yards are very, very good, but my chipping is all over the place. So like I could pitch it, I'd be really good at pitching it in the game, but my chipping would be like, really iffy, kind of like that. Regardless of what golfer you're playing with, every golfer has a few core shot types that are always gold: drive, approach, punch, pitch, flop, blast, chip, and putt. Specialty shot types are unlocked as bronze and can be upgraded to silver. Okay. Now, one thing I may have missed it. It may have been a brain fart. There will be character creation, right? You're your own person. You're not playing somebody else leveling up. For some reason, I feel like I never saw anything like that. Shot creation utilizing shot types and shot shaping, yes. Shot types and shot creation revolutionize your gameplay experience. So I love these shot types. I think it's a really good addition to the game. Pure stroke. Let's go more into this. Design philosophy with pure strike. Gives you all the tools you need to realistically attack every hole on every course, same way the pros do. Ball behavior and course dynamics bring real-life experiences to every round of golf. Whether it's facing 20 miles per hour winds over the rock-hard terrain of the old course at St. Andrews to the suffocating rough at Bay Hill. Every one of the world-renowned courses in EA Sports PGA Tour has been designed to challenge you the same way it would a professional golfer. Your ball is tracked in-game by measuring power, swing, apex, and carry, which is visible on screen after you hit your shot. And I absolutely love that. You know, some people are going to be like, that's too much on the screen, but I guarantee you can take all of this off. I love that they have the apex. I love that they have this right here. I think it's really, really cool. There are a variety of factors that impact the bounce and roll of the ball after you've taken your swing. The firmness of the ground, the speed of the ball's roll, and the ball's spin, and the terrain the shot was hit from all impact the way the ball behaves once your shot lands. Very good. Okay, no two courses are identical. On every course, shots on every course will behave differently based on the speed, firmness of the fairway, fringe, and green. Yes, that's usually all the same with any game. You know, it's going to behave differently. This is pretty much the same as any golf game. Yeah, all those settings. And they're playing on Xbox, it looks like, or a PC with an Xbox controller. We built each course with state-of-the-art LIDAR, or LIDAR, data captured by helicopter or drone, mapping all the vegetation, slopes, and terrain into the engine, so that's pretty cool. Adjust strategy with shot types for more authentic golf. We read about that. Fluid swing mechanics provide more realistic shot results. Take the swing mechanic, for example. When you swing with your swing stick, 3 components will impact the resulting shot. Backswing length, how far your golfer takes the club back as you pull down on your swing stick. Forward swing speed, how fast your golfer swings forward or how fast you push up with your swing stick. So that kind of worries me because having your golfer swing as slow as they are in this gameplay trailer is very kind of takes me out of it. It's very weird. Swing plane, which is this right here, so that's, yeah. So both backswing length and forward swing speed will impact the power of your shot. If your backswing is too long, you'll overswing, but if it's too short, you'll underswing. If your forward swing is too fast or slow, your shot won't go the intended distance. Which again, 2K does have that. Now, I will say with 2Ks, it's very inconsistent. I will literally play a round or even a hole where your speed is completely different the next round or the next hole, where I have to push the stick forward with my driver a lot faster than I had to the round or just 9 holes before that. So that's another. If they could fix the greens and that part of the game, 2K would have an amazing game in my opinion. But right now it's good, but it's not there because there's so many frustrating things that you can't control. Let's see. Power, accuracy, control, recovery, customize your experience with a variety of gameplay styles. Arcade, Pro Tour, and Simulation. Arcade provides you with exciting, larger-than-life mechanics like power boost and spin control, while Pro gives you the challenging gameplay paired with the aids and exaggerated mechanics of Arcade. In contrast, Tour style has you playing like a top-tier professional golfer with more challenges and no aids. And Simulation, the most challenging game style, gives you the most difficult set of game mechanics. These gameplay styles control all of these settings under the gameplay, including zoom levels. Good. So it will control this. We don't have to turn any of this on or off. If we turn it to Tour, then we don't need to change anything. And so let's just look at this really quickly, because Tour and Simulation are probably the two that I'll be playing on. So normal and hard with the swing difficulties. We have the power boost off on both of them. Swing meter is on. I'm not sure about that. Spin control is off. Shot shaping on. Lie effect is on. Now zoom, of course that's going to be off with Simulation. But I'm wondering, another big thing on the sim, within 100 yards, you should know the slopes of the green, and you should know well, the slopes of the green, you should know that within 100 yards. And within, however, let's just say within 50 yards, you should be able to tell the slopes of the green, because in real life, you can walk up, in that time you get to hit a shot. You can walk up and back, see the slope of the green and everything. Aiming arc is short on Tour, off on Simulation. Putting aim point is at cup. You don't have none of that damn assisted aim. Putt read is off, of course. Putting grid. So this one is on Tour, off on no beads on Simulation. Wind gust is on both. Wind reading is full on Tour, direction only on Simulation, so just like 2K. Elevation, full and direction only on Simulation. Which is good, I think, because in real life you do know at least some of the elevation. You won't know everything. Auto tap-ins off on everything is off. Mulligans off on everything. Now I did hear they will be adding 3-click later. They're gonna have ranked. They're gonna have real life stuff. And we'll probably hear more about that later. Anything else? Let's go media. So you have trailers. That was not even a real trailer. I don't know why that. I hate when when companies release trailers like that. Then just general discussion. But overall, there are some concerns with the overall, just the swing. Now the big thing is we don't know if they're gonna have something like TGC Tours. Now with 2K, the only reason that game lives on is because of TGC Tours. Because right now they have no ranked. They have societies, but no crossplay. I'm guessing there will be crossplay with EAs. They have crossplay in all their multiplayer games, at least the big ones anyway. Microtransactions are a big thing to worry about with EA. Now with 2K, you do have a Clubhouse Pass, which is fine. You can have that. And you can have a pass with this. I don't care. I just don't want microtransactions. But overall, I think there's less worry for this game than there is with 2K. Because 2K's seems super focused on their celebrity golfers that they're putting in with there, and less on fixing and adding things that are really important to the game. Their career mode is bare bones, and once you hit to the FedEx Cup, it becomes impossible to win on hard difficulties. The courses become impossible, like I said, with you having to chip in to stop the ball. The rivalries, which is a good idea, is implemented very poorly. You beat them in one tournament. I literally almost went through my rivalries twice. And the only reason I didn't was because I was playing really badly in a tournament and John Rahm beat me and I didn't beat him. If I would have beat him there, I would have went through that twice in one career mode, or one season of career mode. Good idea, but implemented very poorly. So we do know they're going to have basically all of these sponsors that 2K has. EA will have all the sponsors that 2K has. Basically, Cobra, TaylorMade, Titleist, they're going to have all of that type of stuff. And of course, they will be adding things after launch, just like 2K. But overall, I do feel that I have a lot more faith that this... And it's unbelievable because after Battlefront 2, Battlefield 2042, their NFL games, their controversy with the their soccer game or football game, however you want, wherever you're from, however you want to say that, and basically losing that license, or whatever happened there. The fact that this looks as good as it does, gameplay-wise, what they're gonna have at launch, is incredibly surprising. And I guess time will tell if they've learned from all their mistakes these past few years. So, tell me what you guys think about the game, what they might do right, what they might do wrong. If it's gonna be better than 2K's, do you think? From this, I think it might. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a very long one for just a 4-minute trailer, but I had a lot to say about it. Have a great one. I'll see you. Bye.